There we go. Welcome, everyone. Nice to see you all. Some of you were at the earlier practice session, which is great. We have another one this evening which has a similar theme. It's working with fire, and particularly as the fire element becomes full. Now, we're doing this because it fits in with the Northern Hemisphere summer getting right into the middle and even towards the ender stages of summer where we've had a lot of heat over time, a lot of that fire element. And so, some practices that can help us to make the most of the fire energy of summer, but also make sure it doesn't get out of control. So we're going to be looking at calming the fire energy down. Those of you who might be joining us from the Southern Hemisphere, these are still great practices for working with the fire element. And that can still be very relevant at any time of the year. It just particularly fits quite well with the summer season and where we're at right now in the Northern Hemisphere. Yeah, so the session in some ways is going to be, some parts are going to be similar to what we did in the earlier session. We will be using some of the same practices for activating our fire energy. We're going to get quite directly to activating the fire early on in the session. And then from there, we're going to move into using some earth element practices to start to drain the fire, to remove the excess, to help it to start to transition through. And then we will do a bit more in terms of water element practices to then control the fire. So by both draining and controlling the fire, we're going to get a really nice balance of our healthy fire energy. So I see Sylvia has put in the chat, very cold and summer here in Munich. So yeah, well, we will be activating the fire first. So if it's cold where you are, whether that's just because it's cold even though it's summer, or if it's cold in winter, it's going to work well for you. We're going to activate that fire to begin with anyway. So let me just change my camera. There we go. And we will get underway. So get yourself comfortable wherever you want to be for the practice session. We're going to start with some simple joint rotations. Just starting with the wrists. Really simple way for us to check in on our body. We'll change directions. Make sure that things are moving well so we don't have any sort of sudden stiffness that causes a problem with our movement. And also just bring our awareness into our body, start to pay attention to what's going on in it. Let's move out to our elbows. And we'll go the other way. And from here, we'll move to our shoulders. Big circles, opening up through the shoulder, through the side of our body. And going the other way. And the other arm, big circles. And the other way. Then with the waist, circling at the waist, gently opening the hips. And the other way. Then to the knees, stepping your feet together, bending the knees, rotating at the knees. And the other way. Then the ankles, one ankle at a time. And the other way. Other ankle. And the other way. With our neck, we'll tilt our head forwards and back and forwards and back and forwards and back. And then turning to one side and to the other side and one side and the other side. One side and the other side. Coming back to the center. If you're comfortable with your neck, you can do some full rotations. Otherwise, keep tilting forwards and backwards, side to side. Just gently opening up the movement in your neck. We'll change directions, going the other way. Coming back to the center. We're going to bring our hands together in front of our body, palms touching. We'll inhale, bring our hands up through the center line, and then exhale, descending back down through the center line. Inhale, coming up, and exhale, descending down. It's a very simple movement, creating balance between the left and right side of our body, and particularly strengthening the flow of energy through the center line. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, lowering down. Inhale, coming up. And exhale, lowering down. From here, this time as you inhale, come up to the height of the chest. Exhale, opening your hands wide, palms down. Inhale, coming through, palms facing up. And then turning side to side, just breathing naturally as you turn side to side, and keep your palms facing all the way up. Really focus on keeping the pinky finger, the little finger side of the hand turned upwards. And this is going to help us to open all the joints of our body. So as we turn side to side, we feel a twisting, stretching, opening through all the joints, from our ankles, through our knees, through our hips, right up through our spine, through our shoulders, our elbows, our wrists, our neck, opening all of these joints. Then coming back to the center. We inhale, raising our hands up. Exhale, backs of the hands touch as we fold forwards. Just come as low as is comfortable for you. Then at the bottom, turn the palms upwards, one on top of each other. Inhale, coming up, lifting the hands upwards. Exhale, releasing out to the sides. So we inhale, raising the arms up. Exhale, back of the hands touch, folding forwards, coming down just as low as is comfortable for you. Turn the palms upwards, one on top of each other. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, release out to the sides. Inhale. Exhale. So as we come down with the backs of the hands touching, we're creating space around our spinal cord. And then as we inhale, coming up, palms facing up, we're drawing fresh energy up around the spinal cord, and then exhale, releasing outwards. Inhale. Exhale, diving forwards, creating that space. Inhale, coming up, drawing fresh energy through. Exhale, releasing out. We'll do just one more of these. Inhale, exhale, diving down. Inhale, coming up. And exhale, release. From here, we're just going to bring our hands onto the surface of our chest, in the center of our chest. So we've done a lot already to open up around our spinal cord, open the joints of our body so the energy can flow freely. We're ready to directly activate the energy of our heart, the center of our fire energy. So with your hands on your chest, maybe you feel the warmth of your hands connecting into the warmth in the center of your heart, reinforcing each other, causing that energy in your heart to get stronger, brighter, more active. We can activate this further by doing a little bit of massaging, just massaging in some circular motions in one direction, stimulating the energy here, getting it flowing, moving more freely. And we'll change directions and we'll massage back the other way. And then change directions, massaging the other way one more time. And then releasing your hands and bringing them together, palms together, fingertips facing upwards in front of your chest. And still feel that connection between the energy in your heart and the energy between the palms of your hands. Maybe you can still feel that heat, that warmth, that soft glow in the center of your chest, your heart, and now the soft glow and the energy between the palms of your hands. We're going to gently activate this, get this turning and flowing. So we're going to turn the hands outwards, making a triangle shape, and then roll through the back of the hands, and then the palms come back together. So we inhale in this position, exhale. Inhale as the hands come back together. Exhale, open, turn through. Inhale, exhale. So this movement is like a flickering flame. We're taking that energy of the heart and we're just getting it to start to stir and flow, glow brighter with each breath, activating this flame, activating its movement a little bit more. The flame is still gentle at this stage, just turning, flowing. We'll continue with this for a few more movements. And then we're going to move into some practice to activate the flame more strongly, make it bigger, stronger, before we then start to settle and calm its energy. So enjoy this gentle stage of the fire energy, warm, soft, gently flowing and turning. And then once it's active enough, once it's strong enough, once it's glowing bright enough, once it's warm enough, we'll start to spread the fire. So from here, we inhale, we exhale, stepping forwards, opening our arms outwards. Inhale, stepping back, bringing the hands back together. Exhale, step forward. So we're opening outwards with the little finger side of the hand. Inhale, little finger side comes in, back to the center of the chest. So we exhale, that fire energy from the center of our chest spreads outwards, opening outwards, and then we come back into the center of the flame. So we exhale, spreading, expanding the fire outwards. Inhale, coming back to the center of the flame. So as we do this, we have this direct effect from the heart outwards to the extremities. And in particular, as we do this, we're stimulating the heart meridian that runs from our armpit all the way down the inside edge of our arm to the little finger. So we're opening the space of the heart, opening the heart meridian, letting that fire grow, start to spread, start to expand. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. We'll do one last one. Exhale, inhale. Now with our fire a little bigger, a little stronger, we're going to activate it even further using some dragon practices. So lowering our hands to our sides, we're going to make loose fists and we're going to turn side to side, swinging our arms nice and loose, letting our hands strike in against our body. And if you want to, you can just keep it like this with your stance quite high. If you want to make this even stronger, you can drop down into your stance and turn into a deeper stance each time as you go, really getting that centripetal force, moving the energy outwards. The nature of fire is expansive, so we take the energy from deep within, and these swinging movements move it out to the periphery, pumping the energy from our core out to our hands, out to our feet, out to our head, getting the blood circulating more strongly. From here, we're going to move into double figure of eights. So swinging both hands to either side of the body. And as we do this, we feel a twisting between our hips and our shoulders, squeezing all of the organs within our organ space. Again, encouraging that circulation of the blood, of the energy from the organs outwards. And then from here, we're going to move into a double circling movement. Simple movement. As we do this, there's a wave-like pumping of the energy moving up through our whole body, right? From our legs, up through our pelvis, up through our spine, stimulating our whole spine with a wave-like motion, helping the energy to move freely through our nervous system, through our spinal cord. We'll change direction, circling the other way. The next one's a good one, a little bit of a challenge. Do the best you can with it. So we're going to swing one arm forward and one arm back. Do the best you can. We won't do it for too long. As we do this, we have the twisting and the wave-like pumping through our whole body at the same time. We'll go the other way. If you haven't done this before, don't worry, it can take a bit of practice to get good at it, but we're going to move on soon. So from here, we're going to move into just one arm at a time, alternating figure of eights, one side, other side, one side, other side. Again, keeping that energy flowing from the center outwards continuously. Now that we have all this fire energy active, circulating strongly, we're ready to start to release some of it out into our energy field. We're going to do this with some throwing motions. So we'll inhale, drawing our hands back to one side, and then exhale, throwing through. So we inhale, drawing back, exhale, throwing through. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And as we do this, it's like a whipping motion that releases any excess energy that we might have been holding deep inside. We let it flow outwards into our energy field, where either we can use it in our energy field, or if it's truly excess, we can just release it, let it go. One more each side. From here, we're going to inhale in the center and then exhale throughout to both sides. Inhale back to the center, exhale throughout to the sides. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Feel that energy expand, getting brighter, stronger out into the energy field. 2 more. From here, coming back to the center, we'll inhale, lifting up, and then exhale, throw down. So we'll inhale, lifting up, exhale, throw down. So inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. 2 more. Last one. Then you can stand nice and relaxed. And you probably feel your energy is active at this point. Had a mention from someone that it was cold where they are. Hopefully, now you've generated some internal heat, activating the fire element within you. We're going to let this continue to burn. As it burns, we naturally continue to draw fresh energy up from the earth through our body. It ignites and releases outwards. So a healthy flame is constantly refreshing, renewing, drawing fresh energy and releasing the excess outwards. So we'll just stand and breathe for a few moments, experiencing this sense like we're standing in the middle of a flame, like we're the wick of the flame surrounds us, drawing the energy through and releasing outwards. As this energy moves through, it cleanses, refreshes, renews the tissues of our body. As we continue with the sense of the fire energy within us, we're going to let the fire energy ascend right up to its peak. We're going to bring our hands together, again in the front of our chest. We're going to start to sway side to side. And think of yourself like a flame that sways side to side as it burns. And then as we do this, we're going to extend our hands upwards. And you can just keep the palms together like this and extend the hands as high as feels good to you. If you want to make it quite strong, we cross the hands over, bring the palms in contact with each other on the other side. And this creates a stretching, twisting opening. And it naturally makes the sway side to side rotate a little bit as well. Again, much like a flame. We feel that opening in our armpit, opening up the start of the heart meridian, then flowing up through the arms. Like the flame reaching all the way to its peak. If you have your wrists crossed, we're going to descend the hands down and then come back up again, crossing the wrists the other way so that we can have some balance. Steady, relaxed breath, feeling that energy rising and expanding, rising all the way up through your body, expanding out from you like a flame, that fire energy flowing up and through you. And now from here, we're going to move into calming and settling this fire. So we're going to gently open our hands. Just breathe steady, relaxed breaths as we slowly, slowly open. As the palms face downwards, we can think of it being like ash falling. Think of the lightness of ash that has been thrown into the air by a fire and how it drifts down so softly, so gently. And so our energy that has reached this strong, fiery peak just slowly, slowly, slowly settles very gently. We'll inhale, raising our hands up just to shoulder height. And again, exhale, palms facing down. The sense of lightness, of softness, as the energy settles very, very gently. Gently, gently, calming the strength, the height of the fire. Gently, gently bringing in the steadiness, the stability of earth. Inhale, raising those arms up to shoulder height. And then exhale. Again, it could be one long exhale, or you could breathe in and out as many times as you need to. As we just slowly, slowly, slowly descend the energy downwards. Going from the qualities of fire to now taking on some of those qualities of earth, being settled, stable. Inhale. We're having a very soft, gentle form of earth. There are some forms of earth that are really solid and heavy, and we are going to work with one that's a little bit more solid in a moment. But for now, we're just getting this softness, this calmness. We'll do 2 more of these movements, settling the ashes, settling down, gentle, gentle. Feel that through your whole body, through your head, your shoulders, your torso, your legs, your hands, all the way down to your feet. Settling down, becoming stable, centered. 1 more. Exhale. Now with the sense of soft stability, we're going to spread and strengthen that a little bit more. We're going to take those ashes that have settled and spread them. So we bring one hand, palm up, underneath our solar plexus. The other hand is vertical in front of the solar plexus. And we turn and we push and spread. We then come back to the center. We swap positions of the hands. We exhale, push and spread. We inhale as we come to the center. The palm becomes vertical. Exhale, push and spread. Very simple movement. As we do this though, we have a little squeeze through this area at the bottom of the ribs, gently squeezing, massaging our earth element organs, the stomach, the spleen, the pancreas. Exhale, push and spread. And naturally, as we do this, you'll notice maybe that your feet get wider as we spread our base of support, becoming wider, more solid, more stable. So from that lightness, expansiveness of the fire, we now get the solidity, the support of earth. We're going to keep it relatively gentle in our practice today. We can move on to other practices that pack the earth, making it even more solid, more dense. But for now, this is going to be enough to give us some nice stability, to help to draw out and calm any excess within the fire. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. And then from here, we're going to come back into some water element movements. We're going to start with the ocean swell, swaying forwards and backwards, letting this sway move through our whole body. So we're probably going to feel it very clearly up through our spine, through our torso. But we also let this travel right through our legs, our shoulders, our arms, our neck, our head. One big rolling motion, connecting to the depth of our water. So from the yang of fire, exploring some of the depth of water, which will act as a control to help balance any excesses of fire that we may have. Keep breathing steady, relaxed breath. If you've been out on the ocean at some point, which probably most of us have, let this feel like rising and falling on the swells of the ocean, that steady, strong movement moving through us, stimulating the bones, stimulating the bone marrow, stimulating the kidneys and spine. And then from the ocean, the mists rise. So we inhale, palms facing down, feeling lightness, like mist rising up off the ocean. And then we exhale, turning our palms towards us, the rain descends, washing down over the whole body. So again, palms facing down, we inhale. We feel that lightness in our hands, mist rising. And then we exhale. This time turn the palms towards the sides of our body, the rain descending down the sides of our body. Inhale, mist rises. The gentle softness of rain counterbalancing any excesses of fire. Exhale, this time the palms facing towards the back of our body, bringing that rain down over the back of our body. Inhale, palms facing down, mist rises. We're going to go once more over each of the surfaces of our body. Exhale, rain descends, washing down, washing down, washing down. Inhale, mist rises. Exhale, rain descends on the sides of the body. Inhale, mist rises. Exhale, rain descends over the back of the body. All that rain will just stand for a moment. And in our mind, it's as if the rain continues to flow down over our whole body, soaking into the tissues of our body. And as any excess gathers, it then flows into the streams, which flow into the rivers. So we're going to continue on this water focus and work with the flowing river quality of the energy within our body. We'll start by just inhaling, raising our hands up about halfway, about the level of our waist, palms facing down. Then we're just going to drift our hands to one side and then drift them to the other side. It's as if our hands sit on a surface of water and we're just drifting side to side, starting to get a twisting, turning, flowing sense within our body, like a river, twisting, turning, and flowing. As we continue with this, as we extend our hands to one side, we can step one foot across behind, bringing that twist right through our whole body. We'll then come back to the center. Palms drift across in front. As they drift out to the other side, the foot steps behind. Coming back to the center, drifting across. So as we do this, we feel a twist right up through our spine, a little squeeze in our kidneys, activating that water energy again with a different movement. Cross to the other side. And you can continue doing this just side to side. Or if you'd like a challenge, we're going to bring something else in here. You can try it out. We're going to extend to one side, and then we're going to twist and turn all the way around. And then we'll twist and turn all the way back the other way. Then step across to the other side. If it's too much, just go side to side. But if you're up for the challenge, twist to one side, twist back to the other side, step across. We'll do one more to each side. Twist, turn all the way around, then turn all the way back, across to the other side. Twist, turn all the way around, twist, turn all the way back, and then coming back to the center, back to those ocean swells, forwards and backwards. And from here, we're going to move into one last movement, focusing on both the water and the fire. We'll bring our hands back up in the center of our chest. And again, we're going to start to sway side to side. Previously, we did this as part of our ascending flame, bringing that energy from our heart upwards, letting it reach its peak. This time we're going to do the movement as a swimming dragon. So the swimming dragon combines together many qualities, and part of it brings together the fire and the water. And so we have this sinuous movement. It's interesting, both flames and water have this flowing, fluid quality to them. To make this a little stronger, we'll step our feet right together And if you can, touch your knees together as well, and then sway side to side. And again, feel that quality like a flame, but also the fluidity of the movement. And the way now with our feet together, with our knees together, we really feel it stimulating the kidneys on either side of the spine. And in fact, we get a fluid motion coming all the way up through the spine, stimulating those water element tissues. If we want to make it stronger, we extend out to one side and then out to the other side, opening up the sides of the spine, breathing steady, relaxed breath, finding a harmony between the energy of both the water and the fire element, flowing with vitality through our system. Coming back to the center, straightening your legs, releasing your hands down to your sides, stepping your feet back out to shoulder width apart. We're just going to start to settle our energy now to finish our sessions. We'll do a little bit of self-massage to make sure our energy is evenly distributed through our whole body. So we'll start with just a little bit of circular massaging on our lower abdomen in front of our dantian. From here, we'll move into the lower back, the area of the kidneys. And then we'll pat down the back, outside of the legs, up the inside of our legs, up the front of our body, out the inside of one arm, up the back of the arm, out the inside of the other arm, up the back of the arm, over your face, over your head, over your neck, down to your waist. From here, we'll put our hands on the surface of our body and we'll just stroke this time down the back, outside of our legs, up the inside of our legs, front of our body, out the inside of one arm. Softening the energy, allowing it to flow more smoothly through our body, over our face, over our head, over our neck. Again, coming down the back to the waist. Here we'll take the hands off the surface of our body and just guide our hands over our body using the energy emitted from our hands, smoothing the flow through every part of our body. Coming up, out, one arm, and back, out, the other arm, and back, over your face, over your head, your neck, down to your waist, releasing your hands to the sides. We'll inhale, raising our arms to the sides, bring the energy up our spine, and exhale down the front of our body. Inhale, bringing the energy up the spine. Exhale down the front of the body. So we're harmonizing yin and yang within our microcosmic orbit. Taking all that energy we've activated within our practice, combining it together in these central flows. One more. Bring your hands onto your lower abdomen, settling the energy deep in the center of your body. Breathing steady, relaxed breath. Letting the energy become calm, settled, but still active and flowing in a balanced, healthy way with it. Okay, we will finish our practice there. we do have some time if anyone has any quick questions or just comments that you'd like to share before we wrap things up. Let me swap my camera so you're not kind of looking at the top of my head. It's probably more like it. So hopefully a nice balance, activating, getting that fire going, but then bringing a settling and a calming to it as well. Amanda, where'd you go? There you are.
Sorry, no, I'm muted. Thank you. I really enjoyed that. I really loved the flow. It felt a bit like a dance at some points. Really enjoyed that. Couple of questions. One, what's your view of bit of clunkiness, like in a shoulder, for example? If you feel that clunkiness in the movement, what's your take on that? And I wondered if you could show the ocean swell from the side because I wasn't quite sure. Is it like a body roll type thing? Or
Yeah, okay, yeah. So first,
Fine.
the clunkiness in different parts of our body. What this clunkiness is, it's an imbalance and tension around the joint. There's different possible causes for this. Sometimes it can be muscular, in which case just stretching it regularly and things will resolve it. Often it's more at the level of the connective tissue, and it can take a bit more work to bring that back into balance. If it's not causing you any pain, then it's generally not an issue. You're fine to just carry on. Sometimes, even if it's not causing you pain, it's a good idea to go more slowly if you're experiencing that clunking, so you're not just forcing anything to happen within that joint. And sometimes too, we can bring additional support into how we do something to reduce that clunking. So for example, for the shoulders, if these are clunking, something that can be very useful is if we place our fingertips into, so there's this little crease between the shoulder and our chest. If we roll the shoulder forwards, we feel it very clearly. If our shoulder's nice and open, we don't feel it so much. But somewhere in here, there's a little crease. If we press our fingers into this crease while we do things like rotations with our shoulder, it helps to stabilize the shoulder, which means we'll get less clunking while we go through a process of opening that joint up and rebalancing the tensions around that joint. In terms of the ocean swell, I will happily show you that from the side. I'll swap cameras again. This. So yeah, it's a wave moving up and down through the whole body. Now, we think of an ocean swell like this, which of course that is how it is on the ocean. For our body, it's more a forwards and backwards movement. And so very simply, it can be very subtle. It can just be, just like the ocean swell can be very subtle, or it can get more moderate in size, or it can potentially get quite large. Now the focus is on the movement forwards and back, but this then naturally sends the wave up and down through the body as well. Much as, if you pluck a guitar string, it moves side to side, but it travels along. Same sort of idea with that ocean swell. Did that give you a good idea of that movement?
Yeah, that's really helpful. Thank you.
Cool, great. If anyone else had any quick questions or comments, I'm happy to. Oh, there's a few things maybe in the chat. Let's see. Some general comments. Someone says, I'm reminded how good this practice feels. Well, that's a good reminder. I'm glad I reminded you. Great practices to do regularly and get that good feeling regularly. And good feelings lead to good health and good vitality. So Dave asks, how important is it to keep the Mingmen open as possible? Seem to store a bit of tension in the lower back. Yeah, common issue. So those, if you're not familiar, the Mingmen is a point sort of right down in our lower back and behind the kidneys there, center of the lower spine. And it's quite common to build tension here for a variety of reasons. Some of them can be just postural and habits, like sitting in a chair a lot, which lots of us do, sitting at a desk a lot. These sorts of things are going to naturally build up tension in this area. But other things as well, if we have sometimes fear, so activating the kidneys too much, and this causes a squeezing into the lower back, a whole range of reasons why it can become tense and locked up there. And that then affects the energy flow from the kidneys up through the whole spine into the rest of the body. So we do want to open that up and keep that open to allow the energy to flow. Now, that's not to say it can never close. It's good for every part of our body to open and close. But for that energy to flow through, we really do want to have that open. So some of the practices that we did today are quite helpful for that. Certainly where we're doing, it was at the beginning as part of our warm-ups. It's a series of movements we call alignment, centering, and opening, where we're doing this sort of thing and twisting side to side, where we do that movement coming down and then coming up. That gently opens that space. A lot of the dragon warm-ups, I didn't mention their dragon warm-ups, but we were swinging side to side and swinging our arms helps to open this. And then the ocean swells at the end also gently helps to open this. There are some more specific practices that you can get into for opening that as well, but we don't really have time to get into those today. But some of those ones that we did in the practice session can be quite useful. So Leslie has asked, the palm of my hands feel really warm. Is this natural? I notice this too this morning. Yeah, it is natural for a couple of reasons. One, if your circulation is good in general, it sends energy out to your hands. There's also a specific connection with the energy flow from your heart, and connected to this, it's specifically the middle dantian, which the heart has a big influence on, to your hands. Naturally, we have this strong energy out to our hands. And so when we get our fire energy active, when we get our middle dantian active, naturally that energy flows out to our hands, which is good. And we can use that in a variety of ways. One, just keeping our hands warm, but that energy can then flow into whatever it is that we do, whether that be our work, whether that be our connection with other people. If you're interested in martial arts or healing or things like that, that energy flow through our hands can be really good for that. Kendra says, thank you. I really enjoy the fire followed by water. Kaz says, very comprehensive practice. Great. Let's see. So Sylvia says, when pulling down the heavens, do keep the neck long so the energy can flow through, or look up and potentially obstruct the flow? Okay, interesting question. We can potentially do both, and it depends how we think about it. So you're asking, when we were doing the microcosmic orbit movement at the end, whether we look forwards to help keep the neck open, or whether we look up, and that could potentially compress the neck, restricting the flow. It can be useful just to stay forwards if that's what we need to help keep the neck open. However, it depends how we think about looking up. If we think about looking up as tilting backwards, sometimes this can cause us to compress the back of the neck. On the other hand, if we think of it more as an opening upwards, we can both look up and keep the neck open, and that can be really useful for allowing the energy to flow through there. There are other details about why it can be useful to look up as part of that movement, which I won't get into right now. But yes, either of those can be okay. We do want to certainly keep the neck open as we do that though. So Dave says, should we do the first sequence before this, or does it not matter so much? Yeah, so these two sequences that we did, it's not that there's a particular order to them, they just had a particular focus. So each of them are helping us to work with fire as it becomes strong in different ways. So the first session was about working with that fire to activate it and release it, if that's what we need. And in this session, we focused on activating the fire and then calming and settling it. And so it's more, what do we need at a particular time as to which of those we might choose? So Deborah asks, are these movements part of the inner fire course? So some of them are, not all of them. So the alignment, centering, and opening, which we did part of in this session, there's some more to it. That is in the inner fire course. The dragon movements that we did is in the inner fire course. Some of the other movements that we did draw from other practices. Some of them come from the elemental alchemy practices and so on. But yeah, certainly some of this is things in the inner fire Qigong course, which we actually have an inner fire Qigong course starting towards the end of August, where we go deep into a whole range of different practices, many different practices in that course. So let's see. Love the soft activation of the heart energy with the small movement at the beginning. Cool. Thanks, Sylvia. And then Amanda asks, which element is most associated with the peripheral nerves? It's a good question. It can be interpreted in different ways. So the central part of the nervous system has a strong relationship to the water element. So the spinal cord, the brain, these things relate to the spinal cord. As it moves further away from that central part of the nervous system, it tends to have more of a relationship with wood. And that's where we get different things going on with the nervous system that we sometimes refer to as wind, like wind within the branches of a tree and things like this. And in terms of the five elements, of course, water feeds wood, and so we have the central nervous system feeding the peripheral nervous system. So we have the water then feeding the wood. So yeah, a lot of peripheral nerve sort of things relate to the wood element.
Can I ask just a follow up on that, John? Because
Yes, sure, go ahead.
sorry, I was asking that specifically because I'm experiencing some nerve um pain, I suppose, which I think is from having a virus, and they think it's caused a bit of damage. So in that case, would you focus on trying to do lots of water and wood?
Yes, often, yes. Because if you think about what's involved in clearing a virus, certainly the immune system has a big role to play initially, like trying to kill the virus and so on. But then you have to actually clear the wastes and residues from your body, from your system. And at that point, the kidneys and liver have a big role to play in that. And so these are the water and wood organs. And so that's what we do to revitalize the nervous system is we need to keep those healthy to do that filtering, cleaning, and then also to support the nervous system. All right. Well, good range of questions there. Lovely to see you all. And yeah, I look forward to, well, as you probably know, we don't do these sessions all that often. We do them from time to time. So if you want to know when we do the next one, you're probably already on the email list. If you're not, it's a good idea to be on there because that's where we'll announce them when we do them. And maybe I'll see you somewhere else on one of the courses or something like that as well. All right, look forward to seeing you again sometime.
Thank you. Bye, John. Thank you.